Hey guys, let's get more news from Steelers, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Patrick Peterson, happy Joey Porter Jr. taking CB1 assignments off his plate, little bit too old to be doing that. Patrick Peterson looks natural playing safety. But it doesn't mean he's going to be perfect. Still adjusting to his new role, Peterson learned a lesson in a painful way in Sunday's game against the Seattle Seahawks. Speaking to reporters accepting his chief award for the Steeler with the best media relationship, he was asked about QB Geno Smith's touchdown to W.R. Jackson Smith-Njigba, a throw that went over Peterson's head. "We got that same exact route in practice," Peterson told reporters via the Steelers' YouTube channel. "It was just a little bit further down in the red zone. I believe we got it at the 8-yard line, and in the game, they gave it to us at the 12. So my alignment in practice was where it was in the game, but I should have been a little bit deeper because the ball was at the 12-yard line and not the 8-yard line." Here's a look at the play. Not only did Smith throw Peterson's way, he targeted CB James Pierre, replacing the injured Joey Porter Jr. Peterson was playing the goal line and couldn't get enough depth to get a hand on the ball or force more arc on the throw, increasing the chances Pierre could make a play on it. The score put Seattle up 14-10, though Pittsburgh answered back with a RB Najee Harris touchdown to retake the lead. As Peterson outlined, he was playing with about 13 yards of depth. If the ball were at the 8, as it was in practice, that would have put him halfway into the end zone and in position to make an impact on the throw or prevent Smith from attempting the pass entirely. Because the line of scrimmage was different, for yards farther away, Peterson didn't adjust and get additional depth, causing him to be too shallow. That was just not being in the best position to make a play on that ball. Just needed a little bit more depth to force the quarterback to add a little bit more height on it. An unfortunate outcome, but Peterson was making only his second start at safety for the Steelers, ushered to his new spot due to the slew of injuries and suspensions the team has encountered over the last month. If there's a time to learn lessons, it's in victories, and Peterson said he won't make the same mistake twice. It's definitely a different world back there. And you have to understand the different landmarks when you have dropping responsibilities. And that was just one of those. I just dropped down a little bit too low. With Minkah Fitzpatrick potentially returning for Saturday's finale, it's unclear if Peterson could stay at safety for this game or shift back to primarily playing cornerback. Perhaps Fitzpatrick will play strong safety in this game and stop the run while Peterson stays at free safety. It's not an ideal role for Fitzpatrick, but he's more physical and a far better tackler, making him a fit in the box, and if it's the best thing to get a victory Pittsburgh needs, it's worth doing. Chris Canty, it's absolutely ridiculous to question Mike Tomlin as a head coach. When the clock hit midnight in Seattle on Sunday afternoon, Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin made it 17 straight non-losing seasons with the 30-23 win over the Seahawks. The 2023 season has been anything but smooth. It certainly felt like a losing season was definitely in the cards after dropping back-to-back games to teams 8 games under .500 at kickoff. Yet the Steelers are still in the playoff hunt with 1 game to go. Some are quick to compliment Tomlin like former NFL CB Richard Sherman, while others, especially Steelers fans on social media, are quick to point the finger at Tomlin for the team's struggles this season. The detractors will point to hiring and then keeping former offensive coordinator Matt Canada for too long. They'll point to those 2 egregious losses, first to the Arizona Cardinals and then to the New England Patriots in the span of 5 days. Yet every single Tomlin supporter will point to the incredible feat of 17 straight seasons without a losing record as a testament to Tomlin's ability. You can add former NFL DL Chris Canty to that list. On Wednesday's episode of Unsportsmanlike with Evan, Canty, and Michelle, Canty stepped up to the proverbial plate and questioned everyone questioning Tomlin. Coaches with longest streak of non-losing seasons, Tom Landry, Bill Belichick, George Halas, and then Mike Tomlin, Canty said. That's the list. Think about the coaches we're talking about in that list. Mike Tomlin is included in that. It's absolutely ridiculous to question his ability as a head coach. That's a pretty strong word of support from the 11-year NFL vet who spent his last 3 NFL seasons playing for the Baltimore Ravens. So Canty has seen Tomlin up close and personal. Yet Canty's response begs the question, if Tomlin isn't at fault for the Steelers' struggles this season, then who is? I think if you're going to point the finger of blame anywhere in Pittsburgh, it has to be at the front office, Canty said. From taking a lot of risk with guys that have sketchy sports character and taking a big swing at the quarterback spot that has yet to pan out in Kenny Pickett. That is the biggest issue in Pittsburgh. To me, it's the personnel, the personalities in the locker room, much more so than Mike Tomlin. The reason why they feel like they can take those chances is because you have a head coach in Mike Tomlin that always finds a way. So Canty is making the argument that Tomlin is elevating his team to a higher level that it otherwise would be incapable of reaching due to personality conflicts and Pickett's lack of progression in year 2. If you are concerned about the front office continuing to make questionable choices, you can point to the fact that this was the first offseason with general manager Omar Khan fully in charge. The majority of the players he has brought in have been impactful in positive ways. Steelers could potentially sign 4-time Pro Bowl RB, report. After all, the Steelers could be interested in the services of a recently released 4-time Pro Bowl running back. As reported by Josina Anderson of CBS Sports on Wednesday, January 3, the Steelers will potentially consider signing running back Dalvin Cook, who was released by the New York Jets. Quick update, my understanding is that the Steelers will also potentially consider adding Dalvin Cook, Anderson writes. Still evaluating. We will see where other interests may develop as well. The report contrasts with the opinion of Nick Harris, of the official Steelers website, on whether or not they will pursue the veteran. Harris does not believe Cook would be a suitable scheme or lineup fit for the Steelers. Just my opinion. I don't think there is a fit for him at Steelers, both schematically and in terms of lineup, Harris wrote in a January 2, 2024 message on X. Steelers has been mentioned as a potential landing spot for Cook for several reasons, one of them being the lack of production at the running back position. In other words, the Steelers could benefit from adding one of the league's most proven defenders. While Cook had the worst year of his career this season, averaging just 3.2 yards per carry, part of that lack of efficiency has to do with playing for the Jets. The Jets' offense is one of the worst in the NFL, ranking 29th in points per game and 24th in rushing yards. During the previous season with the Minnesota Vikings, Cook averaged 4.4 yards per carry and 1,173 yards, the 6th highest total in the NFL. It was his 4th consecutive season with at least 1,000 rushing yards. Second, Cook had already expressed interest in joining the Steelers during the trade deadline earlier this season, according to a previous report from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. And you fan, what do you think of the Dalvin Cook situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.